Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to today's New Bangladesh. Here, as usual, we shall discuss new citizens, new culture, new policies, new science, new technology, new sectors, overall, New Bangladesh. Today, in our studio, as our guest present, Mr. Mushfiqur Rahman, who is the Managing Director of Spectrum Software and Consulting Limited. It's a leading IT business company in Bangladesh, and he is the former VP of BASIS and also the president of All Cadets Association of Sylhet. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Thank you, sir. Sir, at the very beginning, please tell us about you in brief.
First of all, thank you so much inviting me in your exciting session. My name is Mushfiqur Rahman. I'm in this IT industry in Bangladesh for the last 30 years. It's been a long journey. So I graduated from Bangladesh University Engineering Technology. Before that, I studied in Sylhet Cadet College. Then I thought that I should be going abroad just when I passed back in 1995, early 1995. So suddenly my partner, Furkan bin Kashem, 2 years senior to me, he was working in an IT company and he did an excellent job. That time that the international airport, the international airport, you see that the display system, where the flight information display system, a very old system was there and it went out of order. And that time from their company, they have taken the initiative. And I could remember we were in last year students. So some of our batchmates, and they are also from that company, work together. And we completely changed the whole system into a new PC system. That time the new PC just came up. And successfully we did that one. And then he said that why not we start a company without not having any kind of goal, not having any kind of plan. And that's the journey from our side. And that's been a long journey, near about 30 years. I have seen the very Bangladesh IT industry. It's not a very easy way, bumpy road, but from a very nascent stage, at least to a certain kind of maturity we have achieved.
Well, sir, I say that your luck brought you here in this business.
Absolutely. My luck is also there, but there is no shortcut way. You see that the kind of infrastructure right this moment we have, the kind of support we have, the young generation which were coming, that were not in place back in 95, you could remember.
Yeah, I remember.
So we had to do a lot of struggle. There is no shortcut way.
Well, sir, as regards your family, sir, tell us about your wife and your daughter.
The way you said that I'm lucky in my career, I'm also lucky with my family as well also, because I came from because I'm blessed with a very educated family from my grandfather to my father. My father was a high-ranking government officer. My mother is a teacher from a renowned school and college, Vikarna Sanoon's College. Last of all, she retired from the vice principal of Bangladesh Grammar School. We have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. All of them are graduate from doctor, chemist to economics, and myself from the engineering degree. And lucky that my wife is also a PhD, the professor of Brack University in economics. And I have got my one daughter. She is doing PhD in physical chemistry in University of Toronto. That's my family.
Oh, that's brilliant, sir.
Thank you.
Now, I know that you are a very senior businessman in the sector, IT sector of Bangladesh, one of the pioneers. So how would you describe the landscape of IT business in Bangladesh?
That sounds very interesting. I'm a pretty senior. That means we have become old. But we don't want to feel ourselves old.
Okay.
Because IT as such is a business, you know, that one is a kind of for the young professionals. Because the fast changing technology and the adaptation of this technology has to be done for a particular company, particular organization, and also for the country. Otherwise, you will be stay away. We cannot stay in the competition in this business. Now, if you think about the landscape of Bangladesh IT industry, interestingly, for the last 2 decades, and especially for the last 15 years, we enjoyed at least more than 20% year-to-year growth. That's a very promising number. But at the same time, we could have achieved 50% growth. That we will come the challenges section later on. But overall, it's an industry driven by the youths. And if you broad spectrum, if you say that what is called IT is called coming up with the software development. One is IT and IT enabling services, then business process outsourcing, and the fourth one you can say that freelancing. These four vertical comprises the whole IT industry in Bangladesh. And IT is a very broad spectrum if you consider it. We are in the studio. You have got some IT background also, some over here. So be it small or be it in any organization, IT is a part and parcel of any business organization who wants to grow.
Thank you, sir. You are just reminding me the opinion of two bright people of our country. One is our late President Ziaur Rahman, who told that our young will show us new path and will bring the Bangladesh to a new direction. The same was later uttered by our today's chief advisor, Dr. Muhammad Yunus. There was a cover story in Bichitra, which is a very popular weekly magazine, that our young will do a lot for this country.
Absolutely.
And yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we have big hope for our youth people.
Youth people. If I just consider the number, near about 65% of our population is below 37 or 35, isn't it? You are a professor.
Yes.
So a professor. So we have to make sure that we can leverage this advantage for our future growth.
Yes. This is called the demographically dividend population. Yeah, dividend population.
Dividend of the population.
Well, sir, as regards now the contributions of the IT sector, what are the major contributions of IT sector to Bangladesh's GDP and employment?
Okay, so if you think that if we categorize this growth area for IT sector, our core IT sector, this is called freelancing. Okay, so you see that lot of articles you hear about the freelancing, which is contributing a lot of employment over here. And this is one of the sector where I will always encourage the women, the young professionals, because you can sit at your home or you can do some remote work. Maybe for our office also, we have for the software development, 3 days they do from the office and 2 days from the home, and sometimes 2:3. So they can enjoy the family, you can have the family, and they can also have the professional career. You can look for the professional career. So freelancing, Bangladesh is in between, you can say number 5 or 6 ranking across the globe in terms of number. And if you think that there are more than 300,000 registered freelancer and unregistered, there should be another 300,000 who are working from the home, and they have a small group. This is a larger portion of our community. Then you see that software development and ITS, IT enabling services. This is another portion, and also the BPO also. If you are talking about the BPO, different kind of call center, service support center. It can be back office process and accounting process. It can be HR process. It can be ticketing system. So these are called ITES. And last of all, there are something which is coming up is called cyber security and artificial intelligence. These 4 areas are the growth areas for Bangladesh, and these 4 areas we have already employed near about 1 million people, but there are more than 1 million. Still, there are more if we can make sure that there is a growth, and we can develop the skill accordingly, we can target the market, and we can get this growth. Is quite possible about it, and we have to aim that another 1 million workforce should be employed, particularly in this area, and that can impact a huge growth factor in our GDP as well also.
Well, sir, as regards the government initiative and policies, I mean, what role the government is playing in shaping the IT sector?
So it's very important regarding shaping the IT sector. There are 2 or 3 major elements. First element is infrastructure. Second element is access to finance. Third element is skill development. So if I talk about the first one, the infrastructure. If you don't have the proper infrastructure, particularly the internet, proper electricity connection, okay, so these are the infrastructure what we call for is a blood flow for our IT industry. So for the last 2 decades, it has improved a lot. Okay, because right this moment, you know that about the internet speed of Bangladesh. Okay, it has improved a lot. There are some 2 submarine cables, CMU 4, 5, 3 more submarine cables are in the pipeline. There are 6 ITCs. But here, still very recently, government has initiated the Starlink also. The satellite is also here. The way we are predicting the growth, but number one, it predicted the growth. And the way we would like to see Bangladesh in the next 10 to 15 years, still we have to go a long way. We need to make sure that there should not be any disruption in internet. That is the government support. If we talk about export, if we talk about, we're talking about 7 by 24 hours. There are some company, one is a significant company in Bangladesh who is doing the back office processing for 22 to 25 hospitals, big hospitals in New York. So if you think that there is a disruption, what will happen? So we cannot afford to do any kind of disruption. That particularly in this place, we need to look into this issue pretty seriously. So digital infrastructure is concerned. Then you are talking about the human resources concern. We will come because also you are from an academic side. So we need to have what is our resources? Capital resources, that is the human resource. So we should have a continuous flow of human capital in this particular industry, make sure that this is one. So now there is 101 universities, there are some colleges over here. So we are getting some professionals over here. But particularly IT, I said there is a subsector and a main sector of all the businesses. We have to make sure that the STEM education gets the priority. Science, engineering, technology, maths. The STEM engineering has to be just given, STEM education institute has to be given from the government side. It's a very important thing I'm talking about. And last of all, access of finance. Okay, so access of finance is very important thing. When the new startup should come into this field, they must make sure that they get some funding. Otherwise, they can't grow. And apart from these 3 or 4 elements, government need to make sure about the tax issue, policy level tax issue, so that not only in the local companies, but also the foreign companies, they can come so that they can attractive policies. So still now, till 2026, we are tax exempted in income tax, and there are some VAT, value-added tax, for the software development, local software development, and ITS services we are enjoying, but we need the continuation. So there was a debate yesterday also, I participated in India, that government doesn't want to continue with this tax exemption for particular industries. But for our industry, I say that, let's say in our IT industry, the average salary is 50,000 plus. 50,000 plus. So if you can employ 1 million more young people into this workforce, government will earn from their income tax, salary taxes. So it is very important that the policy level decision should be in place for the continuation as well also. So these are the impediments for this government, so that government needs to support this industry.
Well, sir, as regards Starlink, I know that everyone is very much excited in Bangladesh using this Starlink. But at the same time, there are dissatisfactions about the payment of Starlink. They are telling that it is very high. So what is your opinion about this?
Yeah. When you are a physicist, I'm a technologist. I work in technology area. For any design, we said that there should be redundancy, isn't it? So there must be some alternative for every service sector. So that if I'm not satisfied, I can switch to another one. If there is a disruption in one system, I can switch to another system. So if you consider the Starlink, we should welcome it. Okay. Now, it's a satellite-based internet. Okay. Satellite-based internet. So it's also giving you the high speed. Of course, they cannot compete with the traditional ADSL or the which were just what we call the easy way we can say that somebody is laying the fiber, okay? The broadband connectivity with the broadband connectivity. So they are also providing the best speed, but they can ensure the less expensive modality, getting the internet connection. But if you think that there is a fiber cut, you need the alternative. So here comes the satellite internet. If you think that there are some areas, remote areas, where this connectivity, physical connectivity, is a very difficult issue, and some areas you talk about the hill tracks, you talk about some of the low-lying lands. If you talk about some of the lands where you think that people are not that wealthy to take this kind of internet, but as an organization is going over there, but they need the internet connectivity. So they need the alternative. So price might be a little bit higher for them, but end of the day, you need the internet connectivity. There comes, it's okay with them one. So redundancy is one thing. And you are talking about the fiber card, we're talking about is there is a disruption. We want the government should make sure that there should not be any disruption of internet. Okay, because if we think about the export, it has to be 7 by 24 hours. Not only export, if you talk about the healthcare to other services, it should be 7 by 24-hour services. So we need to make sure in the law that, particularly for the export organization, there might be some situation for the national security, then you can regulate the internet connectivity, but not to the organization who are doing the export or who are doing the essential services. That needs to be taken care of.
Well, so if there is one connection, Starlink connection, I see. Then about the mobile internet, let's say we are using mobile telephone and using internet there, this cost is also very high. There are complaints that comparing to other countries, even with in European countries. So how can it be reduced?
I have a different views on this way. Say, if you think about Bangladesh, cell phone, if you talk about mobile phone,
Yes,
or whatever it's called, cell phone,
yes.
connection cost and per minute cost is much more lower than other countries. Okay, but if you think about India, there are some difference, and particularly in internet as well also. Here internet still they are ahead of us in terms of infrastructure, and we need to cover it up. As long as we need to cover it up with the infrastructure, at the same time ARPU also, if you think about the ARPU, revenue per person, if you consider, is very low from here. So when the revenue per person increases, their cost of doing business will be also lower. Very simple equation.
Well,
so our ARPU is probably less than $2. If you go to Europe, their ARPU is near about $15 to $20.
well,
The more higher the ARPU, that you can reduce the per minute cost.
yes. So now what about the challenges and limitations of IT business in Bangladesh? As a businessman, what you are facing?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, to start an IT business is one of the, these things are not being taught in business school as well also. Forget about the technical school. Because if you want to start an pharmaceutical company, if you want to start a media company, if you want to do a manufacturing, it costs a lot. And you have to take the license. For the IT business, you take a trade license and you can start this business. You have a laptop or you have a computer at the garage, or sit in your office, or sit in your home, you can start this business. To start is very easy thing. But in the long run, it's not that, it's not a cheap business, it's a very costlier business. Let's say if you have 50 resources, minimum 50,000. So it's gonna cost you 2.5 million, I mean 25 lakh taka per month, only the salary. So if you want to rent an office and other things, 50 lakh to 40 lakh taka, your total overhead cost, you need to come over this cost also. So you need to make sure that your business should support this cost, overhead cost. Now to do this overhead cost, do you have the capital? is number one is, do you have the capital? Do you have the knowledge base, particularly address this market? Okay, address this market, because we don't have this formal education in our universities to take care of entrepreneurship. Still not there. We don't have that much of a big culture, particularly partnering to this technology business is concerned. So access to finance is very important thing. Here, access to finance, you cannot go to the traditional banking. Traditional banks, basically, they will finance you against some collateral. It's quite natural. Bankers are not there to give you the finance, just see you some black papers and showing you some sort of ideas. They're not going to fund you. So here, the venture capital needs to just come here. Government initiative should become here. So these are the channels, yes, is a particular IT industry faces initially, so that they can overcome that. That's why we are bargaining within every government that there should be some soft loan for this particularly young entrepreneurship for the IT industry, so that they can grow. This is one very important thing for the challenges. Number two, the challenge is there that there is no shortcut method to be an entrepreneur. You have to be a lifelong learner. And everybody, we must understand that this is a particular industry where technology, you see that within 3 to 4 years, earlier it was 5 years, now 3 to 4 years, now AI is coming, artificial intelligence is coming. Before that, the machine learning is to come. Before that, there was something, business intelligence. We have to always adopt this one. So this is the challenge that every human, every entrepreneur should make sure that they are up to date. Number two. Number three is the challenges what I was talking about, the internet connectivity, the power connectivity, that has to be uninterrupted. And that is where the government should take care of these issues.
Well, about your limitations as a businessman, these are the challenges you told.
Yeah.
What about your limitations in this sector?
Limitations.
Yeah.
Good. See, government, first of all, government is the biggest or the largest buyer for IT. Makes sense? Why? If you want to ensure the proper services, citizen services, government should make sure that maximum citizen services are run through IT information services. If you have to apply for the passport or NID, for any kind of payment certificate, biometric, it has to be online. Okay. Number one, to make the business more efficient for the citizens. Number two, reduce of the corruptions. So if you think that you want to do a driving license also here, the kind of cumbersome things, we just got to go through it. But if you want to make sure that it is to go through the digitally, and the process should be defined, and the more and more technical resources should be involved over here, and that should be backed by the government policy. Interestingly, our driving license, I can show it to you. It was from another country, neighboring country, and the quality is so poor. And we used to get it so, and you know the delay time. I got the renewal more than 1.5 years. It should not be done. So government should make sure that from their internal automation to citizen services, all has to be digitally done. Process should be improved. Here we can play important role. Our local IT industry, there will be a lot of jobs over here. Make sure that lot of jobs over here. Only if I think that not even 10% digitalization has happened in Bangladesh. Yes. More than 90%.
Yes.
Job. And that has to be, government should make sure that this government should make sure that we are committed to do the proper digitalization for government and citizen services.
Well, very well, sir. There is a complaint you always see in the social medias about the connection with the submarine cable, that at that time the government officials couldn't take a decision timely. So why it happened? Maybe it is because of the lack of knowledge in IT sector of our high government officials. Is it like that something? At that time, I think. Now, obviously,
I was pretty young also. We just passed out from the universities. Might be the vision, lack of vision. I would say the lack of vision. You should have the vision.
We should always welcome the new technologies.
Of course. There should be some resistance also.
Yes.
There should be some resistance for, you see that If you want to build a bridge over there, if you want to build a bridge, and before that there was a ferry. Ferry people will say that no need for bridge, but you have to build the bridge. That's how the change is, and you have to adopt the change.
And to tackle those
And embrace
very
the, you have to embrace this change. If you say that artificial intelligence is going to disrupt the job, of course you are going to disrupt the job, but we have to make sure we have to embrace it. Okay, if we don't train ourselves in artificial intelligence, then we'll be thrown away from the market. Through this one, we can increase our efficiency, solve our local problem. You think about that, there is a problem, means there is a solution. Now there is a solution.
Well, as regards artificial intelligence, do you think that it's a threat to us, or it's an opportunity for us?
Both. Of course, this AI is going to reduce some, will be a threat for particularly job, different kind of job. What they are predicting, even the Bill Gates said that even the doctors, even the lawyers, even the teachers, it will be impacted. Number of jobs. But at the same time, if this kind of profession, they are trained with artificial intelligence, they can do phenomenal. Okay, so there are still debates are going there. It can reduce your job maybe by 1/10, but it can increase your efficiency also. You can focus on different efficiency also. But all artificial intelligence cannot do one thing what human can think.
Yes.
What we need to do, particularly to have the proper education on artificial intelligence and the fundamental education. And being a renowned academician, you know the facts that what we need to do for our educational system.
Well, earlier we used to tell that computer can compute only, cannot think, what human brain can. But now the people are thinking that artificial intelligence can think also to some extent. Is it true?
Yeah, phenomenally. You see that earlier what happened, it took 10 to 15 years for a drug, basically, for a drug, okay. And go for the trial run, testing, so many. Then you can say after 10 to 15 years, these drugs are safe. Now think about it, within 3 to 4 years now it's possible because of the simulation and different kind of simulation, mathematical computation. Now they can think. Independently they can think. The faster thing, kind of thing, what we computed and calculated, which could take months or years, they can do it a fraction of a time. That is the things are happening. Phenomenal things are happening over here. That is true. But also this is true that the way a human can think differently, and sometimes very, which is not possible for every machines to do it. Fundamental things, fundamental innovations, that still human have to do it.
So you think that AI cannot replace human brain?
It can replace to some extent, and some huge extent, but still there are innovation will be coming out from the human brain also.
Well, very well, sir. Now, as regards the government officials' consciousness about IT sector, I am not telling about IT business, about IT sector. Do you think that there should be continuous training on IT for the government officers? Because they are the policymakers, they are the executors.
So if you think that the young generations, particularly the way the business is coming up, if they are not accustomed to, they cannot be a good officers, they cannot be good professional everywhere. The teaching style hasn't changed. But the challenge is learning an IT, particularly running and particularly software application is not a big thing. The biggest thing I see that the challenge is the way one organization needs to be structured and see their visions. The way I was talking about that government organization needs to be digitalized to improve the service of the citizens. Number two, it has to reduce the corruption. So if the government take this pretty seriously, automatically they have to embrace information technology as their business efficiency tools. Otherwise, if they think that they will not serve the people what they are serving traditionally, there will be no improvement. But if it is so, the country will not improve. So we have to embrace the technology, be it government, be it private.
Private. As far as I know, that private organizations are very much serious in this respect. They are continuously giving training to their officials. Am I right?
Because they can't survive in the business.
Yes.
They can't survive in the business. If you think about the private, earlier there was, we had only gone TNT or BTC.
Yeah.
They were the king. So whether they are giving you service or not doesn't matter. Now you have got 4 or 5 private mobile phone operator. You have got 61 banks are there.
Yeah.
If you're not satisfied with one bank, you can switch to another bank. If you're not satisfied to one card, you go to another card.
Yes.
So they have to adopt the technology. They have to give you the service in the bottom line. Okay. So now the things are like that. Government has to think that we are here to give the proper services to the government, to the people. That's our mandate. And whoever the government is there in future also make sure that, because if they are people-centric, they have to make sure that we are giving proper service to the citizen, so that we are so that they can equip the government accordingly in terms of technology and business management is concerned.
Well, now as regards academies, I am teaching in both public universities and private universities. What I marked that in private universities like Brick University, like EIAB, and some other universities, they are using a very good IT platform and very good IT specialists are working there. But as regards public universities, they are not that much serious about this. They have very weak IT platform like this. I asked them why it is such, and they told me that because of the budget problem, government is not allocating enough budget for this IT sector for those particular public universities. So what should be done? What can we do to improve the consciousness of those people?
See, I'm here in this industry for the 30 years, okay? So, our main capital machineries are human resources, not any machineries like the textile or other industries. So, the kind of resources you produce from your institution, we take them up. Now, if we think that you are going to give me a finished product, that's not justified also from my perspective. I'm asking too much. But I can ask which is a minimum thing that the institution should produce. It's a free thinker. They can solve problem.
Yes.
Okay. They can solve the problems. That is a very important thing. Because upskilling those resources is the job of the industry, is the job of the government to fulfill this upskilling. And particular companies for us, those in a particular company. But from the educational institute, it's not only that the last one you were talking about, from primary to here, you have to have fundamental knowledge.
Yes.
Where we need a lot of improvements, particularly maths. Particularly a kid who can solve the maths and have a basic understanding about the literature, okay, then he can have or she can have an analytical skill, basic analytical skill. Then the problem solving. So there's a very important thing. Now, in regard to my, with due respect with my educational system and the teachers, the kind of research we do, okay, in the 4th year undergrad also, we do copy-paste most of the cases. We should come out from this one. It doesn't take that much of money. We can take some local problem, okay? Some local problems means, let's say there is a traffic issue in your area. You can take the data for 3 months data, okay? So you can do the mathematical modeling over here. You can run the programming. You can devise some electrical devices also, how we can manage this one, okay? So this is a small problem for the agriculture also, for the environmental also. Take some local problem, give them the project and solve them, not the copy-paste. That's how a kid can nurture their own innovations. Then innovation as a culture is completely not in place in our country. Innovation is a culture. That innovation culture has to come from the educational institute to their particular company from us as a company. So we cannot grow a country only by giving services. We have to do the manufacturing as well also. We have to solve the problem on our own problem. How can solve the own problem manufacturing? Through the innovation culture. Through the innovation culture, that has to be in place in the education institute, that has to be in the government sector, that has to be in the company sector also. This is the place where we need to work with the industry and academia. And it's possible, particularly from my company with the defense one. See, the problem is there is a bomb disposal, not killing, the bomb disposal. Okay, so that how we can reduce the casualty. If a robot can basically pick up those bomb and you can see from the X-ray what is the bomb, and it can throw the disruptor, it can defuse the bomb also. So, and we did it with the MIC also. That's an industry academia collaboration. So there are thousands of problems we do have, which it can be done through industry academia, through research and collaboration with this industry, which is not happening, and it must happen for our future growth. And I'm confident that if it happens, our economy will grow to a middle class income economy pretty soon.
Sir, thank you very much. You pointed out a very crucial, I think, crucial topic. As regards research, sir, I teach research methodology in the university. In the developed countries, the business people like you, they finance the university students to run their research. In our country, do you do the same? Do you finance our university
Absolutely.
students?
Now you are pointing the finger on us,
Yes.
and we have to take the responsibility as well. I said that this culture is not here, but things have started very slowly. You see that the brag you are talking about.
Yeah.
One BSRM has given the sponsorship in engineering institute. Things have started. But it is just a very nascent stage. From industry and academia, we have to do a lot of things about this one. Particularly from my company, we have started 2 or 3 endeavor, from IoT with IoT, at another one in UIU, another one is WAIT. Small thing, but we need to make sure that we do it very regularly. It's not that we are doing it for charity. We have to do it for ourselves also, as well also, because kind of research what basically can be done in particularly the master's degree, which we can basically reflect it in our product and services, that will give a different edge to the particular company.
Well, sir, as regards this research in industries, I worked with Sony for a few months, and they have a very big research wing, and many researchers are working there. In our country, I think that this practice is still not there. Am I right?
Of course. I can compare with Sony and over here. That's a way differently.
Yeah, yes, sir. Now, as regards that gap between the industry and academia, always we are getting this complaint from the industries that we are not producing graduates according to their needs. So how can you reduce this gap?
I just told you earlier also that we need to solve local problem. We need to solve the local problem. If you want to solve the local problem, then you need the industry people to work with for particular research also. Then we can tie up with you for a particular local problem. Then there will be the gap will be minimized.
In the developed countries, I know, when I saw that the last semester is dedicated for this. Some are doing researches, some are working in the industries, and thus they are just reducing this gap between industry and academia.
Yeah.
But in our country, we don't have this type of
sorry
curriculum.
Sorry to interrupt you. I missed one point.
Yeah.
That is, it's called, in Canada, it's called co-op. Of internship. If you just particularly go to the Waterloo, they have to have 1 year co-op. Okay, fine. For us, most of our companies are small. They cannot basically take the co-ops that much of a thing. So we try to take the initiative from the government also. At least for the co-op, if the government can give the funding from the UGC also. Okay. Those who are big companies, they don't take care of this movement. Okay, one co-op means one young kid basically coming to this particular company for 6 months of job training. If they are given, let's say, 10,000, 15,000 taka from government funding or whatever the matching fund, then this gap can be mitigated.
Well,
and it's not a very big amount.
No, not a very big amount.
But the policy should be there. No corruption should be there. You know that.
Yes.
Everything is designed by the policy. Everything should be designed by the monitoring as well also.
When in many government offices like passport office or NID offices, I didn't see the intern students there. But if there would be the intern students, that would help the people in service as well. Do you think that it should be introduced?
Mm, I didn't see this kind of internship in other countries, particularly where the sensitive services are there.
Mhm.
There are some secrecy over here.
But for giving services
Yeah, but
to the people,
they can be trained. They can be
they can be
trained.
trained.
They can be trained. In
That can
some places.
in some way reduce the
But in the
gap between
private
industries.
sector, the private sector, basically private sector, most of the private sector, they take students for as an intern
Mhm.
across the globe. That's the basic modality as there. And there are some government institutions for upscaling.
Well, sir,
Just
I think yes, I covered all the important points, important
Yep.
topics. Well, sir, this is our new Bangladesh, and we have a demographically dividend population. Do you have any suggestion for our new Bangladesh and our new generation, Generation Z?
First of all, generation.
Mhm.
New generation, you have got a lot of opportunities, what we didn't have. But you need to be smart enough. Okay? So if you want to be smart enough, start early. And always think you should be a life learner. I always record our teachers, just give them one lesson, you should be a life learner. Undergrad is just a door opening only. It's not an end, life learner. Then whatever industry you go, you try to top up your skill, what we call upskill. Okay, continuous improvement is there. Think global, act local. Okay, master of soft skill. Okay, fine. Master of soft skill means it's not soft skill, some of the, you have to have very good in communications, particularly. Otherwise, you cannot sell yourself. Then don't fear about the failure. There should be always failure, but take it positively, learn from the failure, and look for the future. Inshallah, you will succeed, Bangladesh will succeed.
Well, thank you very much. Dear viewers, this is all with our today's discussion. I think that you enjoyed the discussion. So, hope to see you again in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.